Alright, Shalom. Before I begin, I'd like to give all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Ruach Kodash. I'd like to say double honors to my teachers, the apostles and elders and bishops of Great Millstone, the men whom I've learned this truth from. And I would also like to say shalom and salutations to the elect that's out there preaching this word and truth and sincerity. I'm the brother Shaquat from the branch of Great Millstone, Montreal. Back once again with another lesson. And once again, the style of this lesson, it's an impromptu, due to the fact that it is in transit, Alright, so, the inspiration of this lesson basically stemmed from a thought, I was meditating on, and that was basically, time, because time is valuable, for lack of better words, and it's important to learn to manage your time. And I'm speaking to myself first and foremost because, something that I gotta work on, right? But time management is very important in your day-to-day life, right? And especially in the truth, right? Because, what you choose to give your time to, that's your strength. That's where your spirit is gonna be, that's what's gonna be the focal point of your life, so to speak. But the scriptures encourage us to basically devote and spend as much time as possible on Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai, man, on the Lord and His work. That's where, that's what should be the center of everything, And once again, bro, I'm speaking to myself first and foremost. That should be the center of your everyday life, Matter of fact, let me start here in the book of Matthew, chapter 6, and I'm going to start at verse 19. It says, "Lay not up for yourselves treasures upon earth, where moth and rust doeth corrupt, and where thieves break through and steal." Right? So these treasures on earth could be symbolic to different accolades, money, and so on and so forth, things that you hoard up in the world and lay up for the future, But guess what? Those things are corruptible, right? Whether it may be a status that you want to acquire, or a particular amount of wealth, or even accolades, right? You're trying to win, trying to become the greatest basketball player, or whatever, trying to become whatever, man, whatever it may be, just trying to accumulate accolades in the world, right? Those things are temporal, man. Those things are corruptible. Those things are gonna fade eventually. You might have them for a couple years, whatever, but eventually it's gonna fade, man. So that's not where you should really invest your time. That's not the best place to invest your time. It's best to invest your time and efforts into the ministry and work of Yahweh Ba'ashem Shai, because that's what's actually going to last forever. That's going to translate to a world that's eternal, man. That can't be corrupted. Verse 20, it says, "But lay up for yourselves treasures in heaven, where neither moth nor rust doeth corrupt, and where thieves do not break through nor steal," right? And that's the kingdom of Yahweh Ba'ashem Shai, right? And how do we gain the treasures of the kingdom? It's by doing what the Lord Yahweh Shai asked us to do. staying in spirit, being occupied in prophecy, doing the work, reading, treating your brother as yourself, having faith. All these things, man, narrow down to your treasure. That's while you're doing those things, you're accumulating treasures in heaven, man. And that sort of treasure cannot be corrupted. Well, I forgot to mention charity too, because charity is one of them as well. Verse 21, it says, "For where your treasure is, there will your heart be also." Right? So wherever your treasure is, that's where your mind is going to be, because that word mind in the Hebrew is lab, which means your spirit, your heart, your mind. Right? Verse 22, the point, it says, "The light of the body is the eye. If therefore thine eye be single, thy body shall be full of light." So if your eye is single, it's focused on one point, focused on one thing, right? Which is this ministry and the work of the Lord. If you're focused on that and center everything else around it, you're going to be full of light, right? But it says, verse 23, "But if thine eye be evil, thy whole body shall be full of darkness. If therefore the light that is in thee be darkness, how great is that darkness," right? So if you're focused on something that's of this world, because this world is a dark world, and you being fully immersed in this world, and having your eyes single on this world or anything that this world has to offer, you're going to be in the dark, man. You won't be able to see the things coming. You won't be focused on, prophetic things, man. And that's not to say cast off the world, but scriptures also say use the world, but don't abuse it, man. Because we're in the world. But there's still a mindset that you have to have, and that's not being fully invested in the world, man. All right, so let me go from there to the book of Matthew. Let's see what that's at. Let me see. Salakia, bear with me. Yeah, I got it. This is Matthew 13 and verse 45. It says, "Again, the kingdom of heaven is like unto a merchant man seeking goodly pearls, who, when he had found one pearl of great price, went and sold all that he had and bought it." Right, so the kingdom of heaven is being basically referred to as a pearl, and referring to the elect members as merchants, because for you to be able to see the value of this truth, which is likened out to a pearl in this precept, the Spirit has to be dealing with you to see and recognize, oh, this is valuable. This could actually make me basically have eternal life, accumulate eternal life, and everything that has to come with it, because that's what comes with truth. This truth, right? This is the work of Yahweh Bashim Ashai, right? Because a merchant man, he has a good eye for things. A good merchant man, you have a good eye for picking out valuable items, things that, and that's basically the elect. That's what it's referring to. And the elect were able to pinpoint and pick out that, this truth is the thing that's most valuable. So as soon as they they noticed that, you recognize that, okay, this truth is valuable. They basically bought into it. And like the elder Aram of Birmingham, Alabama usually says, this is where I learned this from. This is whom I've learned this from, right? The aspect of buying it is you're buying into the truth with your time, man. With your time and attention. That's what he mentioned, right? That's how you buy into the truth. You're buying into it by devoting your time, attention, and focus into, right? Let me get something real quick. Isaiah. Matter of fact, let me get this first. John 6 and verse 27. It says, oh, my phone died. Salakia, bear with me. Yeah, but basically, John 6 and 27 was basically going into how that you shouldn't labor for that meat which perisheth, but you should work to labor for that meat that brings eternal life, right? So invest your time and efforts into the truth, because that's what's actually gonna, that's what's beneficial to you. That's what's gonna have the most benefit, for lack of better words, right? And there's also another precept in the book of Isaiah. It says, don't buy meat that perishes. It's something along those lines as well. But buy into the truth. Buy that which is forever, and that's this truth, man. This ministry. All right. So with that, I hope this lesson was edifying. I'm gonna say, call Halayimla Yahweh Bahashim Yahweh Shai Bahashim Racha Kodash. Once again, double honors to my teachers, the apostles, bishops, and elders of Great Millstone, and shalom and salutations to the elect. Once again, until next time, shalom.